Welcome to the Main Basketball Rankings podcast. I'm your host, basketball data nerd Lucas McNally, and today we are talking about football and softball and Pier fries with Old Orchard Beach coach Jason Weber. Jason's going to join me in a little bit, and you're going to think he's had a lot of caffeine, and I can tell you that he has not had a lot of caffeine, and he's just like that all the time. So definitely you want to stick around for that because it's going to be an entertaining conversation. First off, I want to thank Medomak Valley. They sent me some swag from their back-to-back state championship run. Thank you to Nate Case, Coach Nate Case, and everyone there at Medomak Valley. They've got a summer classic going on next weekend, if you're listening to this, as it comes out. Bunch of teams playing up there. There's a game with, I think, Medomak Valley girls are playing the Spruce girls, which could be a really interesting matchup. So a bunch of stuff, bunch of summer basketball has already started. The Coney League has started. There was already some games at Foxcroft Academy, had a summer classic during the state championship baseball and softball games. So we are off and running with basketball, and I couldn't be more excited. But first we're going to wrap up baseball and softball. We had a bunch of games, and lacrosse. Sorry to lacrosse. We had a bunch of games this past Saturday, and a lot of really interesting ones. Medomak went back to back. Another strong performance from Sidney Nicholls. Cheverus got tested in a way that I don't think a lot of people thought they would get tested. Bangor and Gorham went to 11 innings. Fryeburg won their first title in 43 years in baseball. So lots of stuff, lots of cool stuff, and so we're going to get into a little bit of that with Jason. And you know what? Let's just go to that conversation with OOB's Jason Weber.
It's basically how this is me. If you ask the kids that I coach, whether it's the girls or boys, there's two things. You're going to get energy and you're going to get the truth. Not that if you want either of those, but guess what? You're going to get both of those. So
we've started recording because I was like, I got to get this on tape. So if you're just joining us, he's been doing this for 3 or 4 minutes, and I just hit record while I was talking.
Yeah, no. I feel I made it to the top. I'm here on the show. I'm on the show.
You're on WHOU's coverage. You're already a made man.
Yeah, no, I'm happy. They've been great to me. They let me do my thing. Ethan's been great. He always asked me to come on board, and everybody with WHOU has been very given to me and let me jump on some state football games, state baseball games. I did the Cheverus Hamden Academy game this Saturday, was phenomenal game. And I've done some basketball. Me and you hung out.
Yeah.
For so many hours inside the Portland gym.
At the Expo.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I've hung out on your sidelines.
Yeah, for sure.
For an OB.
On the good and the bad days.
All right, so for people who don't know, Jason Weber's here on the show. He is the head coach, or not head coach, sorry, assistant coach of the Old Orchard Beach football team and the head coach of the Old Orchard Beach softball team. And welcome to the show.
Hey, I am pleased, blessed. I'm so freaking excited to be here. I like I said, when you kind of mentioned it, I was like, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to do? Like, I just feel like bringing some energy. That's all I want to do.
He's energy like this. I'll just say he's like this in real life. Just hanging out on the sidelines. He's hopping around. He's psyched.
Yeah, for sure.
So thanks for doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for inviting me. It's an honor. I think what you do for Maine high school athletes is phenomenal. Kind of similar to what WHOU does for them. Mm-hmm. You do the same thing. You give them a platform to kind of say the good, bad, and ugly, and to kind of promote our great athletes here in Maine, because we got some phenomenal athletes, not only through 8-man D all the way up to Class A. We got some great athletes that are producing some fantastic stats and great storylines.
Yeah, and just to offshoot on what you said about the good, bad, and the ugly, I have a firm belief, because I come from indie film and I used to be a film critic for a minute, like literally a minute. And I always say that if everything is good, then nothing is good. So I think you have to be willing to say, yeah, this didn't go great. for this
Oh,
person, because then it validates the good stuff, and then people get mad when you do that. Be like, hey man, they missed 4 free throws. They Nick Andersoned it and missed 4 free throws in the final minute of the game. Like that's
yeah.
not great. We don't want to like dwell on it, but let's not pretend it didn't happen.
Well, it kind of goes along with the coaching strategy that I have is that you set a standard and you tell the
Mm-hmm.
truth. You set a
Mm-hmm.
standard that you believe in, that every year it's not different just because you have a great athlete or you don't have a great team. And then from that standard that goes year to year, you tell the truth. Guess what? Some kids are not great at sports.
Mm-hmm.
But the best thing to do is to tell them the truth and also tell them what they can do to get better. Now, those kids, sometimes they take your advice and they do what you do. A lot of kids love other things to do, and as a reason why they're not great. And we keep that's
Some of us are good at spreadsheets.
right. Yeah, and guess what? We need them all. That's why I I use this term in football, and I live by it. Is football is so different because you need honor roll kids and you need parole kids, and you need all of them together to make a great
Yeah.
football team.
Yeah, you
Because
do.
guess what? That's the family of football. You need
Uh-huh.
all those kids that are have the support behind them, that don't have the support behind them, that want to go run through a wall, that can understand an offense and our play sheets. Say you need them all. Same in softball. You need all those different kids to make a great team. You can't just have just straight A kids. You need them
Mm-hmm.
all. and
Mm-hmm.
and those that's something I love about coaching. It truly is not about the wins and losses, but guess what? I'm a super competitive guy. I love winning. Don't get me
Mm-hmm.
wrong,
Sure.
but there's so many other things coaching that I'm blessed with and that I truly enjoy. I enjoy the relationships I have with those kids. Uh, they're just phenomenal young adults, and I've created relationships outside of just Old Orchard Beach kids. I follow a lot of kids, other teams that I compete with, because yes, on the field, I'm not competing anymore, but my kids are. We take pride in ourselves as that when we get to battle on the field, whether it's football field or softball, guess what? We want to win and we want to do what we can to win. But as soon as that whistle's done, we respect you for coming on that field with us. We respect
Mm-hmm.
all the time of preparation because we're hoping you're doing the same thing we're doing. And that's putting time in the film work, extra hitting, extra practice, doing those little things that hopefully make your team better. And that's what we're hoping everyone's doing when they're competing against us.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that old cartoon, the old Looney Tunes cartoon, where there's the coyote and the sheepdog, and then they fight all day, then they clock out, then they
Oh yeah,
walk
yeah,
home
yeah,
together.
yeah, for
So
sure.
it's a little bit like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. John Glenn, the assistant coach that works with me, preaches by that. He's a great coach, and he preaches by that, by honoring the teams that you play and respecting what they do because they hopefully have prepared the same way we have prepared. So when we go to battle, when we go on that field, it is a good game, and whoever's better that day succeed. Not because we have a better coaching staff or we have better athletes, is that we were better that day because we both prepared the same way. Now,
Hmm.
don't get me wrong, some teams don't prepare like us.
And
It
some
just
teams
it's,
don't have the talent,
right, and some people don't have the talent. That's for sure.
because you can prepare all you want, but when Addison DeRoche is in the circle, good luck.
Good
And you saw
luck.
that firsthand this weekend.
Woo! I've done a couple of those games, and she impresses me more and more. And I think it's more of how I mean she's a junior,
Right.
and her presence on the mound is so calm. And even when things don't go away, and a lot of times they go her way, like she does a
Nearly
phenomenal
all the time.
nearly all the time. But in this game, I mean, it's the first time a team has put a crooked letter on them. They scored
Hmm.
2 runs all
Hmm.
season long. They've given up 4 runs the entire, only 1 run per team. So 4 all season. It's crazy. And
Insane.
then for them to put up that second run, then to have the tying they were celebrating. They threw their gloves in the air. They threw their masks. They were
Yeah, so
celebrating.
explain to people what happened, because Rob Kennedy was explaining it to me in real time from the press box at St. Joe's, and I was sort of following along, but not entirely.
So there was a hit, and here's where it kind of got messy because I didn't see it the whole play.
Okay.
So they had the hit, and
This is Hamden.
she tried to extend it to second base.
Okay.
They threw it to second base, and the I don't know if it was a shortstop or the second baseman tagged her and tagged her out. She was clearly out.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone celebrated. But when the official came over after he called her out, he called obstruction immediately because she had to slide around her. She was definitely in the baseline. When I was looking at her,
Oh.
she was definitely in the baseline. So the obstruction is that she had to slide around her, and she definitely was there before the ball was there.
Okay.
It was the right call. It
Okay.
just, instead of calling her out, it should have called obstruction first. Would have
Mm-hmm.
helped. Um,
It
because
always helps if you don't make the
right,
wrong call first.
because they were they mean
Yeah.
the dugouts came out, girls are
Sure.
crying, like it was game over.
Yeah.
And then, but that's where her maturity on the mound and how great she was, because of the fact that calm, composure. You know what? Time runs on second. I just gave up a hit to get score a run. Like this is a big moment. Like that easily could crumble a lot of high school pitchers.
Oh, so
Like
many.
so many. Just and she went out there and struck out the next girl. Like, yep, stuff happens. It happened. We got to get it. She took a couple pitches to warm up
Mm-hmm.
because the coach asked, and but just a phenomenal effort by her. Her team played great defense behind her. Obviously, when you're playing against her, they're gonna try to get the ball in play. So there was a lot of
Mm-hmm.
bunt attempts. They made those plays. It just and on the other side, Kat Facchini. I mean, I've only seen her once, but again, the how impressed I was with her and her effort on the mound. She wasn't as dominant in terms of strikeouts,
Mm-hmm.
but her on the mound, mixing up speeds, location, and it never seemed like the Cheverus hitters could get a good bat on it. At one point, I think I remember the stat, the middle of Cheverus lineup, which is filthy. They are good
Yeah, they're
hitters.
good.
They're good hitters. They were 2 for 10. So she kept those guys off balance all day long, and it was truly a great effort. And then on the flip side, her bat was just as even hot, like
Hmm.
hitting it, getting a double. It was a phenomenal. I think she went 2 for 3. So that I mean, phenomenal against one of probably the Cooper flag of softball in
Yeah.
Maine.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, I was trying to explain it to someone the other day. It was ironically a Medomak person who was convinced that Sidney Nicholls is the best pitcher in the state. I was like, no, she's not. I'm sorry. She's great, but she's not. Um, is DeRoche, is she the best we've had? Like, is that the consensus yet? I mean, she's got
I,
3 Gatorade Player of the Year awards, so it's hard to beat that.
that's the thing. It is hard to pick from years from past years and stuff like
Is
that.
she our Cindy Blodgett?
That you know what? And I grew up in the era of Cindy Blodgett,
Mm-hmm.
and I that is a phenomenal comparison. I it's gonna This girl is a generational kid, just like Cooper
Mm-hmm.
Flag is a generational kid. She
Yeah.
she is set a tone, and I know there is now girls in Little League that don't know anything about Cheverus High School, but they know about this girl. They want
Right.
to be this girl. I mean, to have the accolades that she has currently, 600 strikeouts, like in junior year, like that is insane.
Yeah.
That is that you can't produce that stats. That's almost near perfection for 3 straight years.
Mm-hmm.
That is
It's
unheard
like
of.
2 strikeouts an inning, basically,
Yeah,
for like
it
3
is.
years.
And her energy on the field, her composure when she's pitching, boom, she is. is like laser focused. And when she strikes her out, she becomes that junior high school girl, cheering, happy, yelling, excited. But then when she's back on the mound, it is that laser focus, and that's I think sets her apart from a lot of pitchers. Is her ability to create speed, to create speed change, to her rise ball's filthy, but in to spot her pitches. And when times get tough, her composure. That's what
Yeah.
I've seen, and I've probably seen 5 of her games.
Okay.
So and it just
I've seen one.
right. I feel like that is the what I would consider her, why she would be the Cindy Blodgett of softball. And if anybody doesn't know who Cindy Blodgett is, you should look her up. She was phenomenal too.
If you
Yeah.
don't know who Sidney Blodgett is, how
Yeah.
did you get this far into this podcast?
That is true. That
Like,
is.
how did you even find this podcast?
Well, you're gonna find this podcast because they want to come see me. They're like, Webb's on it. It's crazy. This is crazy time. Holy smokes.
Like, Cindy who? I'm
Yeah,
here for
Cindy-
Webb.
Yeah, Webb's here. Webb's in the house. I'm wondering how many people are gonna blog that I have Yankee curtains.
There's maybe a couple.
Yeah,
Maybe a couple. Yeah.
That is gonna get some hate for sure.
Yeah, you got your OOB hat, you got your Yankee curtains.
Yeah, no, that's gonna get some hate for sure. I do have a little background that my grandfather's from Troy, New York, and
Okay.
he grew us up all Giants and Yankees fans. I was a Knicks fan.
Ooh.
Until Jason Tatum came through.
Okay.
And it was the first time I've ever switched from a New York team to a Boston team.
Wow.
Because I'm gonna give you a secret.
Jason Tatum should know this.
I don't like Phil Jackson. I hated him. And he came over and got into the management of the Knicks, and I was like, I'm done with him. I'm done. And then I went, and Jason Tatum, I liked him in college. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
The first time, I'm a Celtics fan. So when he came over and was a Celtics, I was like, you know, I'm gonna cheer for a Boston team for the first time.
Was a little bit of you had to have been happy to see the Knicks win.
Oh, phenomenal. I was happy for them. It was a great story. The franchise, I mean, I thought I was going to be in the next Patrick Ewing. That's how dedicated I was to the Knicks. I wanted them to win every time, and then if they didn't win, I wanted to fight everybody. Like that's how we love the Knicks.
That was 90s Knicks for you.
Yeah, that is that and the Pistons. They're like battling all the time.
I remember those Knicks teams. Sure.
Yeah. So, but it was great. It was great for the city. I mean, it was having the Knicks in Madison Square Garden, like that's the epic place to win and stuff like that.
It's a lot of fun. I was like, you know, if the Celtics aren't going to win it, then I'm fine with the Knicks winning. I don't care.
Keep it on the East Coast.
It's a cool story.
Yeah.
You know, so we're recording this. We started recording at like 7 something on Monday. So there might have been a Giannis trade. At any minute, there could be a Giannis trade. Do you want to get down a Giannis take before anything actually happens? If anything happens, what do you got?
This is the hard part about it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that I don't like his defense.
Oh,
that's my thing.
Interesting.
He's a big dude, but I feel like he's a huge. But I feel like he gets lazy on the defensive side.
And is that because he's been on bad teams?
Well, that's what I mean. I love the Celtics, and I thought they were great when they played defense and they created offense off the defense.
Sure.
Now, that was my biggest take, is that I love that. And is it now, and I'm a super believer. I freaking hate the one-on-one, like stall the ball, Brown stalling the ball, Tatum stall. Even when Tatum does, I hate it. I like it when the ball moves. We get it inside. We kick it to a three-point shooter. Three-point shooting is, even though it's part of our game, it's part of the Celtics. I just don't want to be a black hole for the Celtics, where we're now trying to feed it in the post instead of really moving the ball. I liked it when they fed the post and they did it to circulate the ball around so they collapse the defense.
Right.
But the defensive side, I just don't know if he plays good enough defense that I would want him or give up as much as the Celtics might give up for him.
Yeah, I'm a little worried. The injury stuff worries me, and like,
Yeah,
but part of me is he's been on bad teams, and like I haven't loved the last couple years from him, but there's been nothing around him, and you never know with that. And I don't want to give up Jalen Brown. I really don't want to give up Ugo Gonzalez if
yeah.
that's the rumor I'm hearing today.
I mean, I might be another hit. I'm not a big Jalen Brown fan, but
I know some
I
people who
I,
would
I
agree with
wouldn't
you.
I wouldn't want to give him up for Giannis.
Yeah.
That's right. There's some people I would.
Mm-hmm.
Cooper Flag I would.
For Giannis?
For yeah. For
Wow,
yeah.
you're gonna just get like
Yeah.
lynched at the expo.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. For sure.
I don't
But
think I would give up Cooper for Giannis.
no. I if the Celtics wanted Cooper, I would take him.
Oh, you're saying
Yeah.
trade Jalen for Cooper?
Yeah, for
Oh
sure.
yeah, I would do
Oh,
that deal.
hands
Yeah,
down, I'd take that for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that fixes your cap problems for one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So there's that.
And that's the other hard part with doing Giannis is the cap issue.
Mm-hmm.
So it
Yeah,
just
it's a
it's
whole thing.
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how I feel
above
about
my
it.
pay grade. Above,
We'll see. Yeah,
above
we'll see
my
what happens.
I just look at the game, I go, he might not be a great fit, and then someone has to figure out all the numbers and all that stuff. So
I was, lukewarm on the Derek White trade. So who knows? What do I know?
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
All right. So I wanted to ask you some football questions, and
Sure.
like I think the easy way to go out with the football is that I'm sure you get asked this, like, how do you adjust? Because I've been on your football sideline, and I've been on a lot of football sidelines now, and they're all intense. They're all super intense, tons of technical fouls. If you were to do that on a basketball court,
Sure.
how do you? This is a two-part question. How do you adjust? This is the easy part of it. That is the lazy question. How do you adjust the football coaching to softball? Because you can't do that with girls.
Oh, I think I definitely coach him differently.
Right.
But here's one of the things I asked my girls early on. I don't really ask the boys, but I ask, do you want me to coach you like because the football season's after and they see me coach football
Right.
and they see that type of person. I go, do you want me to coach you like a boy or like a girl? And most of them say, I want you to coach me like you coach the boys.
Yeah.
Like,
Until you do.
yeah. And I go, well, this is the difference. I don't coach boys or girls. I coach athletes.
Ooh.
And I don't change for nothing.
It's a
No
trick
matter
question.
who you are. So the intense football coach is also the intense softball coach.
Uh-huh.
The only difference is that boys get over things real quickly.
Yeah.
Girls hold on to things a lot. And I truly love that about them because they like to know. Sometimes boys believe you blind faithfully. They're like, "Yep, coach knows he's going to do it."
Coach says to run through that wall. I'm going to run through that wall.
Girls will ask why, and I love explaining the reasons why we're doing something, the reason why we do a hit and run during this time, or the reason why we bunt, or I'm a little bit more aggressive on the base pass early on, or even in the lineup. The hard part is when they, hey coach, why am I getting not a lot of playing time? Or that where sometimes it's a little, the boys just take it in stride and be like, oh yeah, I gotta, and the girls really want to know why and my thought process. And I love giving I'm a firm believer, and I hope, and I think a lot of coaches do, but some coaches don't, is I'm a firm believer in telling an athlete the truth. And that if you always tell an athlete the truth, then there's nothing a parent can come back to you. Listen, why is Johnny not playing? Well, listen, he doesn't know his place. He's kind of lazy at practice, doesn't pay attention. And when I need a certain skill set at that position, he can't do that. What does a parent say to me? Well,
Yeah.
like, No, that's the truth. You want to come to practice? Come sit at practice. I'll invite all the parents to practice. As long as you don't say anything, come watch. If you want to watch Johnny, yeah, or Susie or whatever, you're
I think
gonna
if you
see.
said that to me, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds like him.
Yeah, but
That's
that's what I
what he
mean.
does at home. So I don't know why it would be any
But
different at practice.
but sometimes coaches fluff it.
Mm,
They fluff it up, and then it gives. And I feel like if you give a kid the opportunity or the skills or the pathway to getting better, that they have more opportunities to get better than say, no, what, if you just come to practice and keep working hard, you'll get that time on the field. That
mm,
doesn't help a kid. That zero helps a kid.
right.
That's zero. But if you said, hey, listen, you just started this, you need to get faster. You need to do 20-yard sprints after practice and work on your speed. You need to do cone drill. He has full cone drills that you need to do on your own, not during practice, not during my time, because
Hmm.
I got 20 other kids that I need to coach during that time. But there's so much time that you can do it on your own. Problem is, kids don't take that opportunity to get better, and that's what separates the good ones from the bad ones.
And that's a tangible thing, as rather than just saying you need to work harder, like here's some cone drills, here's some
Yeah,
sprints, here's a jump rope, you know,
right.
get to
And
work, do
and
these things.
and it helps so much with the conversations with parents, because when a parent ever comes to me, which
Hmm.
I'm a gloat myself a little bit, that I don't have many parents that come talk to me, because when I do my parent speech, I said, your kid's gonna know the truth. So if you want to ask me why your kid's not playing, then you probably should ask your kid, because your kid's already asked me and
Hmm.
knows why
Right.
already. So if you want, and we'll never have a meeting with just parents and just me and the parents. No, the child's gonna be right there, because
Mm.
I work with high school athletes. They're young adults. This
Hmm.
is this is this is life lessons. They're gonna have to have uncomfortable conversations. They're gonna have to be asked uncomfortable questions, and they have to sometimes look within themselves to figure out, crap. You know what, coach is right. I need to work a little harder if I want playing time. I need
Yeah.
and and sometimes you're stuck in a situation where you don't have enough kids, or you're just not good, and you're trying to get everybody in. It's hard all around, but that's the life of coaching, and coaching these days is very difficult. We're blessed here in Old Orchard Beach to have some very supportive parents that really back coaching. But I've seen some ugly things in this world, whether it's Facebook or on TikTok or Instagram or wherever it
Hmm.
is, of how just it it's different when I played. It's different when I first got into coaching, almost 25, 30. Holy smokes, I am old. Holy smokes. Jeez,
What are
yeah.
you guys doing at OOB to foster that environment?
Um, well, I think uh, having stability in our coaching. I mean,
Hmm.
John Dean at the high school. Dean's been a long time Old Orchard Beach guy. He born and raised here. Having that connection with the community, having coaches in the school system really helps.
Mm.
Um, we have a really great dynamic. I am in football. I am the loud one that will dance and do TikToks.
Uh
That
huh.
will kind of like let's go kind of. And then John's a very technical sound. Like he's like, we're gonna do this drill this time at this. And then Dean is basically referees both me and John. Basically, is in between both of us. Uh, and it is
So
and
you're the evil and the good devil, the angel and the devil on his shoulders.
Yeah. And Dean's like right in the
Yeah.
middle. That's why we call him he's Godfather. Godfather
Okay.
Rayman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he no, it's just a great dynamic. It's wonderful to like any one of us could be head coaches.
Hmm.
Like, and that's what's great is that we can go on Sunday when we're breaking down and we can have some good I wouldn't say heated, but good conversation and disagreements. But when we leave and we have a game plan, that's a game plan. That's my game plan.
Hmm.
That's the team game plan, and it's worked really well. And then on the side, I'm the head guy, and I have some great help. Kelly and Heath are phenomenal. They understand the kind of dynamic I want. I am when it comes to softball, these athletes, and this is the hard part about spring sports. These athletes have gone through some. Most of your good ones have gone through
Mm-hmm.
two other sports.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them haven't won the state championship, so they're always disappointed at the end of their day. Most
Yeah.
you only give out so many rings at the end of the
Yeah.
year, and basketball season is so long. Oh my God, that is the longest season. So when it comes to spring, I truly have to. I can't go out there and be like day one of football where we're like, we're gonna hit it hard. We're gonna be running sprints. So I really like to have a more relaxing practice. And I tell the girls is that when we're in between drills and you're just hang out with your friends. It's spring. We're almost graduating. Our seniors gone. Enjoy,
Yep.
enjoy, enjoy your classmates because I can't say it enough. Those are the things I remember. I don't remember. I remember when we won the state championship, but the individual wins and losses. But I remember those times with my friends, with my counterparts on the field. That's the thing. So, but when we go to drills, that's when we lock in. I say, give me your attention, give me your full focus when we're hitting grounders and I need you to lock in. But as soon as I'm done with that, you want to go and dance or sing or do a TikTok. I don't care. Like I
You're
want
gonna
kids
be
to
in
be
the
kids.
TikTok. What do you mean you don't care? You
Yeah.
want to be involved.
Oh, I'm involved for sure. I'm for sure. For sure.
All
Yeah.
right. So the second part of that question, which was a little bit ago, because we're
Yeah.
we're being fluid with it. What is it from softball that and coaching girls that you're able to take to football?
Okay. So
See, that's the better question, really.
yeah. I think patience
Hmm.
because I have to be patient. Like I kind of said earlier, is that girls ask more questions and they really want to know. They have feelings behind your answer.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it's a good or bad, that's part of. I think that patience part of me coaching football allows me to instead of telling a kid do it, run through that wall because I said to run through that wall.
Mm-hmm.
It's now, hey, you know what? I need you to run through that wall because this is what we're preparing to do. This is why. This is the play we're doing. And if you don't run through that wall, we can't be successful. It used to be the hard nosed Jason Weber, let's go. You run through the wall because I said you run through that wall and I'm your coach and you're the player and you need to listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
More times than not, I want these kids not to question authority but respectfully ask questions because I think that's kind of what's wrong with the world today is that we can't disagree and move on. We
Mm-hmm.
disagree and hate, and I hate that. I
Mm.
want you to be able to take my answer, whether it's good or bad, and if it's bad, how do you take that? That we can. You may not agree with me, but since I'm in an authority position, that's the way it's gonna go and you have to deal with it. Just like in life, your boss might not tell you something that you love or do something that you don't love. Well, you got to deal with it and know how to deal with it instead of hate. And that's I think what's wrong.
Speaking of running through a wall, can I give you a movie recommendation that just popped into my head
Okay,
from
yeah,
like the
I love
it's
them.
from like the 80s, I think.
Okay,
I don't know what it's called, but it stars Mr. T. So you already know it's amazing.
okay,
And
yeah,
Mr.
yeah,
T
for sure.
Mr. T is in charge of a youth center, of course, for the kids, for the youth.
Okay,
And they're going to close it down. And he's got to somehow come up with a large amount of money, which is like 50 grand or something, to keep the youth center open for the kids. And there just happens to be the strongest man competition in the city that the
oh,
winning
so
prize,
happy. All right,
you're not going to believe what the prize is to win.
exactly what they need.
It's exactly what they need. And so he can't there's an obstacle course. He's really good at the lifting and the being strong parts.
Right,
And
right,
there's
right.
an obstacle course, and he can't get the obstacle course down. And there's like a thing where he's got to do the rope, climb the rope over the wall. And so then the real like breakthrough moment, in more ways than one, is he can't get up the wall, and he can't get up the wall, and he's gonna lose the obstacle race at the big finish. He backs up and he just runs through the wall, just just busts a hole in the wall.
I'm trying to. I almost think I've seen this movie.
You
I
might have.
I
It was
might
on
have.
TV, and I saw it on TV on the afternoon, some Saturday or something.
Oh, I definitely need to. I now I'm gonna have to rewatch that. That's yeah. I almost remember when you started talking about going through the wall. I can vividly like picture that
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, yeah,
but that's when you kept talking about the
yeah.
wall. It popped in my head. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta like let's derail the podcast. Why not?
Love it. I love it.
All right, so let's talk football. So you guys have had a great run at OOB.
Absolutely.
Like not, and then we'll talk about the state game because that if you want to let's first of all if you want to blame me
Okay.
for being on your sideline and say that I was bad luck, I'm willing to accept that responsibility.
See, I'm a firm. I create my own luck.
Okay.
So I went in there confident. I would never blame you, and
Okay.
I wouldn't even blame maybe the questionable calls at the end.
There were some
Like
calls.
there was some calls at the end, and as like I said, when people make bad decisions or bad things, you got to live with it. You can't create hate. I don't hate people for making what I think was might have been a mistake. It is what it is at this point,
Right.
and our kids have to live with that, and our kids have moved on from that. As it's a life lesson. Guess what? I did it when my son was a senior and we lost in the state game, and Orono beat us that day. They beat
Mm-hmm.
us. We made too many mistakes, and that life lesson after probably did more for our kids than winning that game.
What do you tell them in the immediate aftermath of that?
There's nothing you can say to make your feelings better.
Right.
There is nothing. There my I still remember the look on my son's face when he has his helmet on and he's telling me, who I'm his father, I can't take it off because he knows
Mm.
that's the last time he's taking that helmet off.
Mm.
And that he just in tears in his eyes, tears in my eyes, like there's nothing other than comfort, and there will be tomorrow.
Right.
Yes, it hurts now. Yes, there is nothing. It just you wish you had the magic words or the magic pill to say, listen, it will be better. But in that moment, it sucked. It's the
Do you
worst.
do you encourage them to sort of really like feel it? Like
Oh yeah, it is.
just go deep,
There
like
was
really embrace the
tears,
pain.
hugs, like there's nothing, like I said, other than being supportive and being there. They need to feel those emotions because guess what? I felt the same emotions.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing they can. Now the next day, I'm thinking all the things I could have done differently.
Sure.
It, and that's the coach in me. That's competitiveness as any coach, both coach me, Dean, or John. Like look back and say, okay, what could we done differently? That's what makes good coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to look back and reflect on like everything, all the decision making, and really said, could I have done different? Could I have called differently? Could I sub differently? It is part of the game, and it's part of life. Someone's gonna win, someone's gonna lose, and yeah, we like to just create drama here in Old Orchard Beach. Like we don't just want to win it all. We want to give it
Yeah.
off and guess
Yeah.
what? Stearns Arnold, get hats off to them. Respect
Yeah.
the coaching staffs. They do a great job preparing. That's the kind of feel I love. When you do happen to lose, I know they put the time in. I know they put the effort in, and I know they care about their kids. And
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah. Stearns
look,
came in with a great game plan for that game and
yeah.
executed. I would say their execution was better than their game plan.
Oh,
Um,
for sure, for sure.
Because we on the sideline, I was standing next to Dave Dyer most of the game, and we just kept waiting for you guys to pull away, and it just
Yeah,
never happened. And Stearns just kept coming. I mean, it wasn't like you guys kept like kicking the ball into left field or whatever. You and Stearns just kept making plays, and
yeah,
every time
no,
we thought we'd get some momentum, Stearns would come up and they'd make a play, they'd stop a drive, they'd get a turnover, they'd do whatever they had to do.
yeah, and that's what's great. I always tell the guys that it's great that the football is shaped the way it is
Mm,
because a basketball you can throw it straight up in the air and it's going to bounce right where it is and it's going to bounce straight up.
mm-hmm,
A football, every time you throw it up, it bounces a different way. And that's kind of how that game went. There was some momentum shifts. The ball bounced their way one time. The ball bounced our way that time. The flag fell out of the official's pocket one time. They should have kept it in his pocket one other time. Like it all melds together. And like hats off to the Stearns. They like I said, they came in and they were slightly better than us that day.
yeah.
And
How
hope
are
this
you
year
guys looking next year?
again.
You're
It's
losing a lot, right?
we. I mean, we're losing some talent, but this is how I feel: is that we, like I said, we set a standard. We prepare the same way, whether we have the Preventures, the Gallants, the Trot Moody's of the world.
Mm-hmm.
We're still gonna. Our kids are already preparing. They what's nice about it is those kids, when we said that we're going to go to a man, is that we finally figured it out and figured out how we wanted to handle practice, how we wanted to handle game structure. Defense was a little bit of struggle early on in our years trying to figure out, but really it's that moment of um we are going to set a standard and this is how we're going to practice, this is how we're going to prepare, and our kids don't know anything different. These freshmen
Mm-hmm.
coming in only know our standard now.
Mm-hmm.
They don't they're like, oh yeah, oh you lift, yeah, we lift every morning at 7:30 in the morning, Monday through Thursday. So, and we make kids, and we have our 14 and 15 kids there
Mm-hmm.
every day. So it's and kind of put it. I want to put this out there. Because we had this whole debate about 8-man, 11-man, and all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
I'll put an 8-man kid is part of the best tacklers in all the state because we have to create more open field tackles than any other program.
Sure.
And if you really truly look at the teams that are successful are teams that are good tacklers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of things on the defensive side that we really focus on is creating good open field tacklers.
Well, they say, sometimes football is real simple. You just have to tackle people.
Yep,
Like if you can
absolutely.
tackle people, then that's a lot of it.
Absolutely. And with 8-man, there's so many cutback lanes that I did a coaching seminar and taking away the cutback lanes and really tackle them at the line of scrimmage. If you look at our stats, we don't have a lot of negative plays
Mm-hmm.
upfield. We have a lot of our tackles are at the line of scrimmage because I don't want my defense to get upfield. Because when defensive ends get upfield, they create cutback lanes. If
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden they get to the defensive end that's upfield by 5 yards, they cut back in through the A gap. Well, if my middle linebacker gets blocked down on, I have no one left there.
And then
But
it's
if
6.
everybody's clogging up the line of scrimmage, now I got a back that's dancing around. He has no more cutback lanes, and now he's either bouncing or just burying his head. And then, listen, you want to take a 2-yard gain? I'll let you have it, but you're not going to get a touchdown. And then
Yeah,
put it,
especially since you guys are going to score 60 points. You might, if you guys
yeah.
want to dink
Well,
and dive.
it is one of my John, my offensive coordinator, hates this saying, but 21-0. So 21, we consider a shutout in Old Orchard Beach when a team scores less than 21 points.
Okay.
Here's my theory: is that 8-man, you're going to score points.
Mm-hmm.
And then I see it so many times that when a team scores, your head goes down. Like, oh my God, they score. You stop taking chances. So our philosophy is our our offense has to score more than 21 points, and our defense has to stop them under. You'll see our kids, they'll score a touchdown, and
Mm-hmm.
hey, still a shutout. We're still clapping on the sidelines because we still have a shutout.
Yeah.
And it allows kids to take a little more chances, to be more reactionary. And then when it does get to that 20 or close to that 21, that's when okay, we got to hold them, we got to dig in. We get to that where early on feeling of when they score that first touchdown, now we got a couple touchdowns to play with because people score, Nate, man.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest part, is that when people score, you there's so many times they score, you're like, our kids are down and they're mad. I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna go and score ourselves. Like, why are we getting all mad? Like, you missed a tackle, or they ran a good play. Okay, it happens. It
Mm-hmm.
happens. So it allows us kids to take chances, be aggressive, and still give up a few points, but not get that emotional down of giving up points. That we
There's
still
just too
have
much
that.
space on the field.
Yeah, yeah. And you'll hear it. You'll hear our kids. Hey, 21 now. So I always say, this one hurts. We did a shutout at the state game because
Yeah, I was gonna say.
they did a
Yeah,
shutout.
you were
We
right
had a
there.
shutout, and our kids talk about it. We had a shutout. So
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole you even if you're not calling it a shutout, you say it in evaluating really any sport. You go, well, if you held them to if you say to Hamden, you only gave up 3 runs to Cheverus, then you feel like you're in the game,
yeah,
that sort of thing.
for sure.
And it's sometimes that's just not enough points.
Yeah, no, it really, and wasn't that like I said, it wasn't that day, and we gave it our all, and hopefully maybe we'll both be back there again. Well, we're gonna prepare. We never look for the state game. Our our
Mm-hmm.
our job is to have a winning record, to have a home playoff game, and to play in November. That's our team goals. Never changes. It's not to win it. That's our team goals.
What's the reaction in Old Orchard Beach when you beat someone like 70-10 and then some moron, let's call him me, post that on social media, and then people are just talking in the social media, that's terrible, how should they do that, blah 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 blah. And meanwhile, I'm not paying attention to these comments at all. I'm
Yep.
not reading
Yeah.
any of them. I have moved on to the next thing. I'm just like poking the hornet's nest and moving on with my life. But how do you guys look at that?
I look at it in a couple ways. It's how, and it's really not their parents, their coaching staff. We've beaten some teams by by a big margin.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the game, we're shaking hands with the other coach, talking to the other coach, still exchanging films with the other coach. They understand, and in some of those games, we did everything we could. Like, our kids still need to get their touches, they need to still
Mm-hmm.
get their stats, but at some point we got to pull the dogs back. And just because our JVs are as good as your varsity, that is not that that's not my place to hold back a kid and say, don't give me all, or don't give me 100% effort because another team doesn't want you to score on them.
Because that's
Now,
a bad habit.
right. And we do everything we can to not. Maybe we definitely don't throw the ball. We do plays that are more up the middle, not side to side. Like, there's some things that we can do differently to kind of hold back it a little bit. But really, you want to prepare your next generation too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the hard part, is that just because you might not be as good as us that day, that someday it's gonna, and that's the biggest key, is that how we finish that game, because I know someday the tides will turn.
Right.
It'll be their turn to beat us by 70, and I want them to remember how we treated them when we beat them by that much. Because guess what, parents are going to talk all they want, uh, people in the media are going to talk, Facebook's going to
Those
talk.
media
Well,
bastards.
well, keyboard warriors are gonna talk. I don't give two craps about what they think. I care about my kids, and I care about the program, and I care about the sport.
But you're also a media keyboard warrior.
Oh, I am dual roles, dual role. Uh, yeah. And guess what? I have my opinions too.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I hope that most of my life I I say what I preach and I preach what I do. So, yeah, it's
How
all
do you
good.
guys how do you guys feel when a team, you've had this happen I think a couple times the last couple years, where a team says, I think Booth Bay did it, where they went, you know what, we're good for this playoff game and we're gonna stay home because, and I don't, maybe because the arcade is closed that late in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
year.
that is true. And typically Pier fries is done too. So
Yeah,
that kind of hinders. Um,
it
it's
takes away from the, if you're gonna get blown out and there's skee ball at the end, well,
right.
okay.
Oh,
But if
for
you're gonna
sure.
get blown out and there's no skee ball, and that's a
Yeah,
long drive from Booth Bay.
I it's a double-edged sword for me.
Mm-hmm.
And on one side of my coaching hat, I'm sad that those players are missing out on opportunity to say that they played in a state game. Or
Mm-hmm.
even I even talked to my girls. Like we lost to the state champs of Derigo.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's an honor. We were in the semifinals. It was 5-2 in the sixth, 5-1 in the sixth inning. Like
Yeah.
we were there. Like and to give them the opportunity to say they played in that game. Now, so, some of those situations, what we heard was injury wise, kids not enough kids, not enough
Mm-hmm.
skilled kids. Like I can get that. That's the other side of me is like, you know what? Okay, I understand. But just to say it because you're going to lose, I don't have respect for that. But if it's a safety issue, if we could have done things enough to make a competitive game and not be a slaughterhouse. Or
Mm-hmm.
I think we have shown, and I hope we've shown with other teams that we respect the game enough that we don't want we want the best for all kids. No, we do want to win, and we will do everything to win. But that's that's kind of where I'm at on that.
Okay. Tell me the story you were telling me, or we talked on the phone like a week ago about your girls and having a little, just the
Oh
tiniest amount of chance in
yes,
the tourney odds or the gold ball odds.
the 2% club.
I
That
love this.
no, you this so talking to the girls where I started. This is the kind of the first year we kind of talk about stats and rankings and heel points. Like where they started to get into it because we were winning games, and all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden teams were jumping us, and then teams were lowering. And then I was like, I got another site,
Here's
main basketball rankings.
here's some
Like,
crack
if you
cocaine for
haven't
you.
gone to that site and you haven't subscribed, you should because it's great info. Tell you what, it's great info and it's fun to debate it. So, yeah, right there. So I said there's this great site that kind of gives you your odds of winning the state championship. So, showing it, and they're like, "Oh, we're like a 50-50 to win our game against Telstar. That's awesome." They're
There you go.
excited. And then one of my smart girls goes down and is like, 2%? There's only a 2% chance that we're gonna win at all. And I go, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He 2%. And I go, girls,
That idiot.
the greatest thing is to have a number on the left side. Because if you look at other teams down here, there is there there is no number on the left side of that number. So
Like a
it
point
doesn't
one or
matter,
something. Yeah.
right? If it doesn't matter if it's a 1, a 2, a 10, 90, as long as you have a number on that side, you have a chance. And that's all we want. That we want a chance to play the next game. And that's what we went in going against Telstar is that we don't want to go in and win. We want to go in so we can play another day.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as we won, we broke it down. And my biggest thing was, guess what? we're alive with 2%, and we have practice tomorrow. That was my thing.
And that 2% probably went up.
Yeah, it went up a little bit, but not
Yeah,
much.
not a
Not
ton.
much. Not much,
Yeah,
because Derigo was really good. They're
yeah.
a well coached team, great pitching, great defense, hit the ball pretty well, and they deserve the state championship. They have a complete team over there.
Cool, cool. How does your softball team look next year?
Uh so we were super young field wise. Obviously, having Hannah as a senior,
Mm-hmm.
props to her for winning Player of the Year in Western Maine Conference and
Congratulations.
a finalist for a Miss Maine softball. So really as a coach and a dad, uh,
More as
uh,
a dad.
more as a dad, like
Yeah.
kind of hardest and the most fulfilling thing is to be able to coach your daughter at that level. But oh, I didn't know.
She hit like 200 strikeouts, right? Something like that.
Yeah, she had 200 strikeouts. She just had a phenomenal year, and and really has progressed from her freshman year to senior year. Uh, to see that growth in her, and how she carries herself and really builds her teammate, her team. Uh, um, I think her leadership and her friendship is part of the thing that I see the most out of her, more than just her pitching and hitting. But losing some of others, Sammy, our first baseman, she was a great bat. She batted close to 600. Like she was phenomenal.
Jeez.
Those two leadership has really driven us and set the standard. But we are super young. We only have 4 juniors, a bunch of sophomores, a bunch of freshmen, another 4 or 5 freshmen coming in, and really good softball players. We had some really good. So the key is though is what we got 3 younger pitchers that are
I was gonna
gonna.
say the key is you have a pitcher.
And this is great because I'm gonna make them watch this. They need to put some time in
Mm-hmm.
to be able to pitch. And if we can figure out that puzzle, I think we're going to be a hard team to beat next year. I really do. I think that if we can, and there's some girls on our team that can pitch. Their location is not the greatest, but speed, determination, grit. I love all those things. I think they have that. I think time in the gym, time over this break, and I think where we ended I think has already motivated and pushing them to that, hey, this doesn't have to be just a basketball town or a football
Mm-hmm.
town, that we can create something here in the spring in the softball team.
You gotta get them some Addison DeRoche and Sidney Nicholls tape to watch.
Yes. Oh no, they come. Some of my players were at the Cheverus State game,
Okay,
so they were
that
there.
makes sense. That's not very far. Yeah.
Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
I guess it was at CMCC, right?
Yeah, it was in Auburn.
Okay,
It was
so
in
that's a little
Central
farther.
Maine. Yeah,
Yeah.
great
Uh,
facility. Great facility.
is it? I went
Yeah.
there for a half marathon, and I think that's it. I got to get up there for a basketball game.
Oh, I've never been for a basketball game, but the softball all turf, really nice playing surface.
Nice,
So
nice. I ended up
yeah,
at St. Joe's for that, which is a
yep.
terrible drive from where I live.
Oh, for
It's just
sure,
it's an
for
abysmal
sure.
drive. There was the
Yeah.
trek against Maine was happening at the same time,
Oh God, traffic
and
must.
so
Oh,
traffic was a nightmare. And there was also a large wedding on campus at the
oh
same time, and so it was just it was a mess.
yeah,
There's
for
no
sure.
cell coverage there. It
Yeah.
was a whole thing, but
Now,
there were two good games.
what game did you go this Saturday? You hit up
I,
a
w-
couple games.
I went to Medomak Gardner because as a Medomak person, I am required to go to a Medomak state championship game or I
Yeah,
get kicked out of the will.
for sure. Okay,
S-
so now I'm gonna turn around. See, I'm gonna
Okay.
be the host of the show right now.
Okay, great.
Okay, you're at Medomic, right? What do you think are the keys to their victory?
Sidney Nicholls pitching well.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Pretty
she's
much.
amazing.
Yeah.
She was I thought the Gardner, and there's a lot of Gardner people watch this. So like Gardner had a great year. And there was that 17-16 game, which is the weirdest outlier game like of all time. Just if you looked at both of their seasons, you're like, what happened here? And what happened there was, from what I heard, Nicholls was hurt and only pitched like the part of the first inning, and then the strike zone was like a Greg Maddux could only find a strike in the strike zone. What I
I've
heard
had a
from
couple
both
of pitches
teams.
like that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And so that inflated the score. And then I knew so I kind of figured they would be able to hit Gardner, and if Nicholls was healthy, they wouldn't be able to hit Nicholls. And she was still hurt, and she gutted out the win. But their offense, I think the person I was most impressed with was Rhiannon Simmons, their freshman shortstop and leadoff hitter. She went 3 for 3. She had a Willie Mays catch in the first inning.
Okay.
She has no idea who Willie Mays is. I asked her
No
after the
idea.
game.
No,
I interviewed. She has not a clue who that is.
She thinks it's a cartoon person.
Yeah,
She's like, "Is that a
whatever. Yeah,
cartoon?"
and then I've seen her a bunch of times, and she's been great all year, and she's a great volleyball player too. And then they intentionally walked her in her fourth at bat, which apparently pissed her off because she wanted to hit. But I just knew Medomak had enough offense, and that they were gonna need Sidney Nicholls to like fall apart to be able to. But Gardner's super young, and that could be a repeat next year. That could be the same game.
Oh, that's awesome. And now you hit up another game too as well.
So then
right?
I went across. I didn't go to Penobscot Valley, NYA, because I thought that probably won't be as good as Coney Fryeburg.
Yep.
And then I saw Coney Fryeburg just across the thing, and that was a really good game. That was Coney scored twice in the first inning, in the top of the first, and you're like, okay, here we go, Coney, this is it. Parker Morin's going to get his gold ball here, and then Fryeburg scored 3 in the bottom of the first. They got a home run, and then their pitcher settled in. Dean Oliver settled in, pitched a great game, and it was a 4-3 final.
Wow!
And they won their first baseball title in 43 years.
Woo.
Which you always love to see that, right?
No, yeah, that was. I mean, when it kind of goes back to when Old Orchard Beach, when we won our first state football game here in Old Orchard, and man, it just the community, the number of Old Orchard Beach alumni that reached out. I didn't even graduate from here, but they were reaching out to me, and they reached out to Dean, and like it was phenomenal. So I can imagine that same feeling for them when you put all that effort in. You haven't won in so long.
It'll be like that if Medomak wins a basketball title.
Oh,
because they haven't won since 1980.
Oh, I wonder who is the longest standing school that has not won a state title.
Well, there's some that haven't won any.
Okay,
like Noble hasn't won one, and Belfast hasn't won a playoff game. Like the Belfast, I think if I'm remembering correctly from the media guide, I think the Belfast boys and girls have won like one playoff game total or something like that.
Sports?
Yeah, in basketball.
In basketball,
it's something crazy like that. But Presque Isle's drought is something like 90 years.
Wow,
for the boys.
I'd like to know what school, if a school has never won a state championship in any sport.
Oh,
yeah,
like a team championship, not like they won they won the 200-yard dash.
But yeah, no wrestling or like a team track.
A team tournament sport.
Yeah, I wonder if
that's a good question.
Never have won.
Wow,
that we're gonna put Ethan on that. What's that?
Yeah, that sounds like a Jay Baines project.
Yeah,
but if there's a team that's not won a team tournament sport title, because that's like your softball, baseball, basketball, football, softball, those volleyball,
track,
hockey,
they
lacrosse.
Do track team. They do a
track team, but track's not a tournament. It's just an event. Because I think the trick is you got to be able to get through a tournament.
Yeah, you get a tournament. Yeah, team tournament. I would agree.
Because like a track and field, you just had one good game. You had one good day.
Right.
You didn't have to get through other people and survive multiple rounds.
Yeah, I would like that. Yeah,
and whatever. I think the tournament is the big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. Because like Belfast, I'm pretty sure has won. I think they've won field hockey. So
yeah,
their field hockey program is really good. Because every school's got at least one thing they're really good in.
For sure.
Usually. And then, but what I always like is when they have the movie and that they're like we're gonna be different. And in this movie, they're like the popular sport is water polo,
Yeah,
or,
yeah.
or like some like swimming. Swimming's the really popular sport in this school. Like not
Yep.
football, not basketball. All the cool kids are swimmers, and you're like, okay,
Right,
dude,
right,
sure,
right.
sure they are.
So we're gonna do our own. This is what we're gonna do.
Okay.
If you're watching this,
Uh huh.
go to your school and figure and comment the
Yeah.
last
Hit the
time
comments. See,
your team won the state championship, and we're
now
gonna
you're hitting
see.
the engagement numbers.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
it.
Look at that. See,
Yeah.
that's my media side.
That should be it. Yeah. Put your last title in the
Yeah,
comments, and then
yeah,
we'll see if someone can say, yeah, we've never won one.
yeah.
We're not happy about it,
Yeah,
and
we're not happy about it.
we would
So
like to. Yeah. All right. So this is the most important question I had for you. This is the one
okay.
question I wrote down. Pirates Cove. What's the better course?
Oh, oh, that's tough.
Yeah, that's a tough
I,
one.
it is tough. I love it. It's gonna come down to the view. You got to go to
Mm,
the top of the mountain.
yeah. I was
It,
thinking the
it,
top of the
it,
mountain.
going through the cave is cool, fun. Get a little bit of sprinkling from the waterfall,
Hmm.
but to go to the top of the mountain and look out, there's nothing. There's nothing better.
Yeah.
Now, anytime that you want to come and lose to me at Pirates Cove, it's on me.
Let's do it.
I will.
We
I
could
am.
turn it into some content.
Oh, for sure. We'll do a live stream and
I'll be
bring the
there. I'll
course.
be there in August.
Okay, we're in.
All
I
right.
we can do a tour of all the mini golfs. We'll do both courses. I'll have some
Nice.
Pier fries and Mr.
Nice.
Bill's, maybe a little Rocco's, Lisa's Pizza. I'll have all the pizza joints.
So I can't do most of the pizzas because I have the gluten issue, but there's a
Okay,
gluten-free pizza right next to the arcade. There's one of the
really?
places right next to the arcade. The gluten-free pizza is pretty good.
Okay.
So,
I
and it's not, and it wasn't ridiculous. It was OOB cheap, let's say. It was
okay.
OOB affordable. It wasn't, it was for a gluten-free pizza. It wasn't ridiculous.
I tell you, people don't understand how much I love this town, this community. Like
Yeah.
I love the essentially 2.5 months, the
Hmm.
business community, the tourists that come in for 3 months. Yeah, it's crazy, but we have great food, we have great entertainment.
Hmm.
It's a
People
great
watching.
place. And then after that, it is a small town and you know your neighbors and you go downtown and you enjoy the beach. October, I don't want to give the secret up, but October
Okay.
is the best time to be out on the beach because you have 7 miles of beach and no one's around. And
Is the ocean still warm enough to swim in October?
uh some days, not all the days,
Okay.
but some days for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just tell you a quick story. Because we would go up to Old Orchard Beach every year because my mother grew up there, and so she likes to rent something down there and convinces all the children to show up, and mostly the grandchildren. And I'm just there to bring the grandchildren, you know. And so we, do the thing where you sort of dive into the wave. I had a wave knock me over, like I was trying to plunge over the goal line in a fourth and goal, and like Lawrence Taylor met me over the middle. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
got knocked on my behind.
Oh, for
Like
sure.
I never been hit that hard in my life by a wave. It really, like, it took my breath away for a little while.
If you've never been
Luckily I
to
didn't drown.
Yeah, if you've never been to Old Orchard Beach, like the flags are real. Like if
Yeah.
it, I've been out there, and if there's a lifeguard and he has a red flag, I've seen grown men getting toppled by a wave. They're trying to get up, and the next wave topples them,
Yeah.
and the lifeguards are saving you, and you're only like 10 feet, like you're in knee deep water.
And you're like, what happened?
Yeah, what happened? Like those waves can be real down here for sure, and
Hmm.
we have a great surf community.
Is
I
there really a
remember
lot of surfing down there?
there is a really great surf community.
Hmm.
Usually when the tide changes, there's a probably 4 or 5 good spots that
Okay.
uh, for sure, and especially winter. They'll get
Oh,
in
it's
there.
probably better in the winter.
Yep, but storm season. A lot
Hmm.
of hurricanes come up the East Coast, but they don't really hit or Maine. But
Yeah.
the winds, the outer edge of the storm, hits it and affects the waves coming in. So that
Makes sense.
during those storms, they usually hit pretty well. I have
So
not
that's
tried. No way.
so
No,
that's the thing where they're like, you're telling like storm centers out there trying to tell people to stay inside, and there's some dude surfing behind them.
for sure. Absolutely. We got some
My
crazy surfers.
my favorite storm coverage is when there's a legit hurricane coming through. They're like, it's Category 4. You got everybody
Yeah.
batten down the hatches, and
Yeah.
without fail, there is a dude running
Yeah.
behind them. They're like, hey man, it's Category 4, but I got to get 4 miles in today, so I don't
For
know.
sure. And then love the news guy that's in like knee deep in
Uh-huh.
water and like stuff is flying by him. He goes, "Yeah, we're here, we're safe," and the like flying stuff is flying by his
Like, what are you
face,
doing?
and the sign behind him shaking, and yeah, that guy doesn't get paid enough. That's for
No,
sure.
he does not get paid
No,
enough.
no. While the big guy is in the, hey, well, you're doing great. Stay safe down there. He's in a
Yeah.
cozy studio making all the big bucks.
He's like, someone bring me my cocoa.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
All
So,
right. So I got one more question for you. This
yeah.
is the question I ask everybody.
Okay.
Okay. So if you've seen the podcast, you're probably a little bit ready for this question. All right. So the MPA puts you in charge for one day.
One
They
day.
give you this is the perfect time to do it because there's a changing of the guard, and they put you in charge for one day, and they go, all right, you can do whatever you want. You can do
Oh,
one thing. You can change one thing. People have to do it. Money is no object. What's the thing?
as a certified basketball official,
Okay.
we need a shot clock.
Thank you.
Done.
Preach. Yeah.
It is. I hate. I just. We're in this day and age that it is part of the game. It's part of every level above us,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Some from below us.
and some of us below us, and some equal to us. In other states, it does have it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like our game would progress in a very positive way. Um, I don't think there's any negative other than people not wanting to find an extra official to handle knowing
Mm-hmm.
the rules or schools putting him in their schools. I
Yeah.
think I think
Money.
it's more of a money issue than anything. But that would mean my day one. This is what we're doing. MPA rule.
Have I told you my idea for how to get this implemented really quickly?
No, I haven't.
It's perfect. No one has come up with a flaw in this plan other than that would never happen. So the MPA just goes, okay, this is great. So we already have these tournament sites, and they all have shot clocks already. So we're going to turn them on for the tournament. And you could have them in the regular season at your gym if you want, but you don't have to. But they're going to be on for the tournament. And so any school that has any hopes of doing well in the tournament at all would find money for the shot clocks in about 10 minutes.
It kind of, you know what, you can add to that.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that we mandatory have 3 officials during the playoffs, but 99% of our games we only have 2 officials during the regular season?
Yeah.
So our kids have to be different because there's more.
We don't have
whistles.
enough officials. Yeah.
There's more whistles. There's more people looking at me in a different. I can get away with more things during the regular season. All of a sudden, the playoffs, I can't get away with that because there's 3 officials. It's
We usually have them up here. We usually have 3 for a big game.
Well, there's a lot of Class C, Class D. There's only 2 officials.
Yeah.
And it might be because there's not enough officials. Maybe that's the reason.
I'm sure I'm 100. It's that and money.
That money. But again, it's same. That's the same thing with the shot clock. Then it's money and not enough officials. Like,
well, we were at the S quarterfinals, and it was like I think North Haven played Vinyl Haven or something like that. And the joke was, this has got to be the best officiating crew this matchup has ever had. Because they were the only it was the only games going. So they had like 3 really good officials, and they had 3 officials. And I'm like, there's no way that the regular season North Haven at Vinyl Haven game has these 3 officials at it, or even
making
2 of these officials at it.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, so it's kind of just like the shot clock is just like the officials. Like, you don't, if we can have it in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to you if you want it during the regular season.
Yeah. See, there's a precedent. See, now what
Yeah,
you're saying is there's a precedent for my idea,
right.
and they love precedent at the MPA.
Boom. You heard it here,
Boom.
folks.
All right. I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah.
Where can people find you on when are you on WHOU next? Are you doing lobster bowl stuff?
So I'm actually the only thing I'm not doing anything on WHO. I am coaching in the senior. Shout out to the senior game this coming Wednesday. And I don't know if this podcast will come out, but
Is this a softball senior
the
game?
softball
Okay.
senior game is Wednesday. The underclass game is tomorrow, but it's going to be rained out. I don't know when this is going to come out, but it's going to be Thursday.
Tuesday. It's gonna come
But
out Tuesday.
yeah, shout out to everybody that made
After
it.
the Giannis trade,
Yeah,
probably.
after the honest, this is gonna get so many hits, so many. I'm gonna get you so many subscriptions.
I love it. Great.
I love it.
Give me more subscriptions.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I had to put 4 new tires on my car this week.
No, so I don't really have everything pretty much off. I stopped
Mhm.
putting my football coach's hat on Wednesday. I told
Mhm.
myself nothing after the senior game and coaching my daughter for the final time. Then the football hat goes quickly on because we have
Yep.
5-on-5 Thursday. So,
Wow.
oh yeah, we're ready to go. Where it doesn't there's never a break. There's only a pedal.
There's
There's
never
only a
really a
pedal.
break. There's a
Yeah.
small break in the spring, actually, when we wait for the fields to be playable.
That is true. That is true. But
Kind of the
hey,
only one.
before I get out of here,
Hmm.
I appreciate you inviting me. I hope I was
Of course.
entertaining enough for you.
Oh yeah.
I love this. You ask me anytime, I'll be on here in a second. But I do appreciate what you do for Maine athletes and Maine coaches, and it's not an easy work what you do. It's a lot of time, a lot of less sleep, and I know just like coaching on your side, sometimes the family doesn't get all your time. So I really
Hmm.
appreciate what you do and for our athletes here in Maine.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah. And if you haven't gone to his website, go to it. Let's go.
Oh, I hit my computer trying to trying to do that. All right.
All right,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hey, and if you're not crocking, you ain't rocking.
Oh, we forgot to talk about the Crocs.
Oh yeah,
Next time we'll talk about the
next time.
Crocs.
Next time with the Crocs.
All right. All right, that's the show. Thanks to Jason Weber. As I told you, he's hyper. He's just got a lot of energy. But thanks again for coming on. So this is going to wrap up spring sports. We're going to switch over to summer now officially. I'm trying to get a bunch of the summer basketball stuff in the scoreboard on the site. So if you want to follow along with scores, please enter scores because I'm not spending all summer chasing scores down. Like, I don't care, man. If Deer Isle Stonington doesn't want to like report their scores, then God bless them. But if people are entering scores or sending me scores, then you'll be able to see them on the site for these summer basketball leagues and tournaments and whatnot. And then, you'll be able to see on a team's page, sort of a summary of how their summer went. Summer games are tricky because you don't know. You don't know. Maybe they're at the beach. Maybe their best player went on summer vacation trip with their family. You don't know. But, you can get a sense of a team and how good they're going to be next year based on how well they did over the summer. If you win Coney League, for example, that's usually a pretty good indicator of a team that's going to have a good season. If you win Harbor House, that's a good indicator of future success, stuff like that. So definitely check all that out. Make sure you subscribe to the site. Stay subscribed because the more you stay subscribed, the more stuff like this I can do during the summer. And the more I can do things like keep this podcast going all summer because people seem to like it and I like doing it, so it's a win-win. All right, so that is gonna pretty much do it. Let me find my outro. Okay, this has been a production of MaineBasketballRankings.com, your source for the most comprehensive coverage of Maine high school basketball from Ashland to York and everywhere in between. This podcast is available wherever you listen to podcasts and a bunch of places you don't. If you enjoy this, please leave a nice review because it really does help out with algorithms. Tell your friends, tell your enemies. Thanks for watching, and thanks for following along through the spring sports season. We got to battle test a lot of stuff, and it's going to be an awesome summer and fall. And, of course, basketball season will be here before you know it. Can't wait.